What's up, everyone? Happy Tuesday. Kind of a day late, dollar short deal here. And I apologize for that. I had a pop-up doctor's appointment yesterday I had to go to. And of course, I get there and power was out. So I ended up having to go again today anyways. It's Tuesday. Yay. How's everybody? Hopefully everybody had a good Monday, despite all the sorry about that. Damn cat. She runs everything here. Despite all the Facebook drama and bullshit, there's a lot going on this last weekend. No prep racing, unfortunately. Unfortunately, the bad is outshining the good. There's a lot of great things went on that we heard next to nothing about, which sucks. Because really, that's the more important thing. But also awareness to all these crooks and whatnot is vitally important, because that's how we get them out of here. What's up, brother? How you doing? Taco Tuesday. Well, I see you. You gonna be at Gangster's Paradise Saturday? I'll be there Saturday. I can't be there Friday because of work. I don't have any PTO to go on Friday, unfortunately. But I'll be there Saturday. So anyhow, a couple quick things. Speaking of unfortunately, bad stuff, overshadowing or outshining or taking the spotlight away from the good stuff was, despite despite the torrential forecast that was going to blow up everybody's engines who raced on Saturday in Michigan at Milan, we had a great time. Congratulations to Trevor Mason winning back-to-back small tires. This Erica Munson winning hard tire back-to-back. First female to win hard tire class or any class at PYOP last month. And I believe I heard something about possibly being a bounty put on her head for the next one. So congratulations, Erica. And then husband Matthew raced Friday and won the front side no prep. And congratulations to him. Daniel Welch for winning the second chance race. Was a good time. Things went a little smoother. Didn't have some contributing circumstances that have been a pain in the ass the last couple of events there. So things went a lot smoother. Had a lot more fun. Talked to more racers. Got some more feedback. How you doing, buddy? How's things north of the border? And so for next time, I am going to switch things up to more conventional flagging style. Everybody seems to be more used to that and less inclined to understand what I'm trying to bring to the table. So for now, for the sake of giving the racers the best experience they can have, I'm going to switch things up a little bit. So we'll go over that in the driver's meeting, but it'll be more of a conventional style, the same stuff everybody else does. That way there's less confusion, less adapting for racers, and less stress. I have told all of you all along, just communicate to me. I'm, despite some of the ignorant background noise that's been happening since I started flagging up there. I am your ally. I am on your side, and I'm only there to help make that the best experience possible for everybody. So I'm going to, I've listened to your feedback, and I'm going to make those changes for next time to make it a better experience for everyone. And I appreciate everybody's patience, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to be of service to you guys. And like I said, I'll adapt and I'll do better. It's not about me at all. It's about all of you. So again, we can just have simple, civil, polite, respectful conversations and achieve the common goal, which is everybody having the best time possible. And so that's what we'll do. July 20th. So we were partnered with Jasper Graham and Turn and Burn to do an event at Onondaga. Well, whether you're in the know or not, and I'm not going to go into a whole bunch of extra, because there's been plenty of extra this past week. But they decided to close the track, of course, this past weekend. Of course, that upset racers. Rightfully so. People make plans, and when the plans get canceled by situations out of their control, people get upset. And to be in this game, you got to have thick skin, you know. So of course, racers took to the post, and they were upset, and they voiced their opinions. And instead of handling it in a professional manner, respectfully, you know, the track staff owners made disrespectful, rude, snide comments to people, mocked them, made fun of them, and even made comments about, you know, doesn't bother me. I'm out on my boat this weekend now because I closed the track down. And, you know, basically just another, you know, in a long history of fuck yous to racers that go to that track. It was just another one. And well, I, being the person I am, is I mean, we raced just fine at Milan, but outside of that, you don't disrespect your customers. You know, this is a business. This is a customer service business, first and foremost. Racetrack events and promotions, etc., is all a customer service experience business. Despite the egos, despite sometimes maybe the lack of understanding of that, this is a customer service and a customer experience business. We provide a service to racers. We provide an experience to racers, and racers and spectators alike get enjoyment out of that. Plain and simple. It is just that. On the business side of things, yes, it's still drag racing, but this is a business transaction. And when your customers are upset, you don't mock them. You don't disrespect them. You don't make fun of them. You don't, gloat or anything else. You say, hey, man, we did what would have been a better approach. We were short, because I saw this after the fact. Somebody made a post saying they were going to be short staffed, and it was hot, and that they were concerned about the workers. No, I would have led with that on Thursday when I made the post. Hey, we're short staffed. We don't have enough people to run the track properly, and with the heat advisory for the safety of our workers, we're going to close the track down. And then, even if you got rude comments from racers, because that does happen, you just shut the fuck up. Or you apologize and say, we're doing what we feel is best for our staff, and we'll see you next weekend, weather providing. It's really that simple. But I am a loyal person, and a lot of those people are my friends, plain and simple. A lot of them I even consider family. And one thing I will not do is support. I've already, they did this debacle last year with the $20,000 race. And it was wrong. I said it was wrong the whole time along, but I supported Jasper because Jasper needed help in that situation. And Jasper was trying to do damage control the best he could. And I took a lot of shit for that. And I had lots of arguments, and I lost several so-called friends over that and all kinds of stuff. But I'm a loyal friend. I'm loyal to the point where if you disrespect my friends and you treat them poorly, I'll be damned if I have any participation in anything whatsoever to bring profit to your track, period. And I stand on that, and I will always stand on that. And I kind of put that to the side last time because to me the greater cause was helping Jasper. But when there's a habitual behavior of disrespecting racers and treating people poorly, there's absolutely nothing. I guess it sums up for me. And Jasper's been a little more patient about it than I. But for me, it's kind of like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And like if we're in a big parking lot and people are arguing and fussing and fighting, if fists fly, I'm going to be loyal to the death fighting for my friends. And in a business sense, and this is that same scenario for me, I'm going to be loyal to the death fighting for my friends and what's right. And what kind of piece of shit would I be to be participating in any kind of race that brought profit to that track to a person who just continually disrespects my friends and or put money / profit in my pocket of any sort along those same guidelines. At the end of the day, we all got to be good human beings to each other, and we all got to have integrity. It is very unfortunate because I love that track. I love all the people up there. Great group of people, great group of racers, locals, spectators. I mean, I've really gotten to enjoy all of you up there, but there's absolutely no way that I can feel good about the person that I am if I were to sweep that under the rug and just ignore it, and then on top of that, then profit off of it. I mean, it's that simple. I'm not that dude, man. I'm not that dude. Money means absolutely. I'm so unambitious about money right now. I love my people way more. I will always love my people more than money. I love you too, brother. You guys, you and Pam, you guys are great. I'm so unambitious about money. It's not even a priority, man. People are so much more valuable, and I will sleep so much better knowing that I chose my friends and my race family over dollars or over supporting people that have demonstrated. I can't say that they do or don't, but I just say they've demonstrated that they don't care about the race community on multiple occasions or the people that help them. There's a lot of other things that aren't my place to say that have gone on that just add to that for me personally. Things that they've done to my friends, that aren't right. But that's not my story to tell. But that's the quick and short version of why we decided to cancel the race, or at least on my end, why I decided I didn't want anything to do with it, man. Oh no, I absolutely agree. Listen, I've had the worst year. I've lost so much money on all the preparation stuff we did for Luck of the Draw, and it got canceled. The Illinois track, same owner of Onondaga, so that even is even deeper cut for me personally. His situation, his circumstances, the choices he makes for his life has cost me 3 races personally this year, 2 in Illinois and 1 in Michigan. If we're talking strictly dollars, yeah. I'm sitting on a ton of merch I've bought for all these races. I bought what I thought would, I have stocked up on merch for the 6 races that we thought we were going to have, that now we're only going to have 3. I'm going to be wearing these shirts till I'm 90. I will be wearing this particular shirt till I'm 90 because I got a lifetime supply of them. Listen, we're going to have a great time at Ungaged. I promise you that. Great facility, great track owners, and we're just going to have so much fun. I can't wait. I can't wait. Jasper suffered a lot more than I have in this deal. I don't want to, make it out like it's just me. But again, Jasper's story in this is his to tell. And if he wants to, Jasper, if you want to come on and tell your side, you're more than welcome to, brother. I just don't want to speak for anybody else beyond the little bit that I have already said. You know what I mean? I absolutely agree. Absolutely agree. What's up, brother? Freaking up and coming hard tire killer winning again this weekend. Congratulations, Sean. If you're asking me if I will be there Saturday. I can't get off work Friday, but to go, but I will be there Saturday. I agree 100%. I'm all on board for that. Listen, operating a track, to be a fair person and all that, operating a track is not easy. It's a difficult thing, and there's a lot of stress and everything that goes on with that too. So I get it. But just like I said, no matter what the situation is, you just got to treat people decently. Well, we'll be October 5th. We'll be in Alabama, and potentially we may have another race. We did have one. We did have a couple of tracks reach out to let us do a race, but the dates that they had available conflict with other races that are like a couple hours away. So I didn't want to make a bad situation worse, by saying, oh, we can move the race. Oh, shit, there's one, and literally there's one like an hour and 15 minutes away. I was like, I can't, Again, I got to be consistent with the integrity and ethics thing, right? I can't be selfish and pop up and do a pop-up race that affects another race. So we're trying to find some dates, maybe late October or November, to do a race. And I think we'll switch things up from my conventional style of races. I think I have some ideas for small tire that I think a lot of people will like. A lot of people who typically complain about being class fillers, to make a class for that category of no prep small tire car. There is absolutely no question that there is the gangsters and then there's the up and comers. And that was why Luck of the Draw, it was such an amazing concept, because the gangsters should filter out to the bigger payday and the up and comers should have filtered out to the smaller payday. And then we should have had 2 great races with close, fairer action with cars that were more closely matched to one another. So I don't dispute that at all, that there are two different leagues or calibers of small tire cars. But I think what I'm working on now will be a good remedy for that too. I don't think 26s, I think the Blazer used to be faster on 26s on the street than 28s. So I think the 26 guys are going to be just as fast as 28s here before long. I don't think that that's a good solution either. Oh, I got the fan down here where you can't see it today. October, yeah, Alabama, yes sir. We'll be back at Lassiter Mountain again, October 5th. For you guys are going to catch on to this one eventually, man. It's a great track, and it really does. It's down in the valley. It has like a War in the Woods vibe, except for we have a concrete wall, so we can run it backwards. It doesn't get that fast, and we're going to have a great time down there again. It's going to take a little bit for your, the last one was a small one. I don't think you guys were understanding what we got going on down there, but it's going to be worth the trip. It's not even that far. It's only 8 hours from Ohio. It's going to be big. It'll be big. It'll be fun. We're going to have a lot of great times, and we're going to build an amazing race. I believe the size of Uncaged over the next couple of years down there, and have a great time running backwards, man. There's people's houses who line the on one side of the shutdown lane, about 30, 40 feet off the barrier by the starting line. There's houses. There's like 5 or 6 houses. People come out and sit on their porch and watch drag racing. I mean, that's my life goal. I'd love to live next to a racetrack like that and just go sit on my porch and watch racing. Ellis Twins on 26s. Yeah. I mean, 26s are fast, man. It's going to be, I'm telling you, the Blazer used to be faster on 26s. So I agree, Sean, or faster. I mean, they're than 28 10-5 class for sure. Oh yeah. They had great cell service. The Bob had a great live feed. Well, as far as action goes, like I said, it ended up being a real small race, but it did. I'm telling you, I saw those houses. I was like, "Are you kidding me? I'd love to live there." Yep, Buc-ee's is all the way. That was fun. I'm not going to. I'll touch on this for like 2 seconds. I have known Jeff 5, 6 years now, and I've been all over the country with that man. I've been to his house. We talk all the time. Honestly, this last year we haven't talked much, but honestly, I haven't talked much to anybody. I've just been kind of in Josh land, getting Josh together. So I've been could be considered antisocial, I suppose, but it ain't on purpose. But I've never known Jeff to be anything less than a man of integrity and honesty, and do anything he can to keep his word. And this Nitrous Nicky deal it's frustrating because I see posts people are making. This is basically like a subcontractor / employee theft kind of situation. And I see people talking all kinds of drama shit about making it scenarios that it isn't. It is that simple. It's a horrible situation, It affects the industry, but there's like no incompetence or anything that goes along with that. And there's no lack of integrity on the Thomas's side of things. They trusted her and she betrayed them. And we have all had that person in our lives before. And that is the most simple description of what happened. They took advantage. She took advantage of their trust. She betrayed them, and she betrayed the industry, and not just the Thomases and Warren Woods and Thomas's other racings. There's a lot of other people stepping forward now, manufacturers, racers, other promoters, etc., that they've been robbing and stealing from over the last couple of years, who are all finally speaking out. So thank God Jeff did speak out to start this tidal wave of transparency on one of the shady people out there in the industry, and to get them out of the industry, because this is a thing that will, this is the dumbest shit ever. I was talking to somebody today, and it's like, I don't know, just a loose count that I've seen is probably $20,000 worth of stuff, and it's probably more. Or I gotta give me just a second, Jasper. I'm sending it. I mean, it's probably more, but just loose basic count, and I haven't followed it too much. 20 grand, $20,000 you give away racing, and all the great people of racing, and all the memories. And I mean, not that $20,000 ain't even that much money. Most of us are spending that on groceries this year. You know what I mean? $20,000 is not that much money. And in my world, it's not nearly enough money to throw away racing. I just can't believe that anybody would make that choice. But I love you though, man. Listen, I'm just trying to stay off my phone more. So usually about 8:30 or 9 o'clock, I'd turn off notifications and put it face down and don't even pay attention to it anymore. I'm just trying to get my my weekly usage down, because it was embarrassing how much I was on that phone. Forgive me. I'm gonna send Jasper this link real quick. I'm gonna text it to you, Jasper. Oh. Sorry. See, I wasn't paying attention to my phone. Jasper texted me. So it's a horrible thing, man. I see some people making stupid comments like, that's why streets are better. Listen, I'm going to keep it real. This is going to be an unpopular comment for a lot of people, but a lot of y'all ain't real street. A lot of you guys go hang out with people like the real street racers come out and hustle you, and then you'll be crying about that. Or, you're not going to go to Detroit, let's say, where street racing happens pretty well, and feel safe, or Chicago, or these big cities. I mean, these little shootouts that have been put together since Street Outlaws came out, it's a whole different thing than real street racing. It's a whole different atmosphere. It's a whole different vibe. And once, let's just say everybody stops going to the track, or a large amount of people stop going to the track, and they start street racing all the time, the shady element's going to come back out, guaranteed. And then it's going to be a whole different batch of problems that racers are facing. And that's what I grew up on, and that's what I know. And listen, I ain't the only one. There's plenty of people who know exactly all the shit I'm talking about. So there's better solutions than making dumb emotional comments, or uneducated comments, or comments just for attention. about these situations. Now, I know some people were upset about the Preston's testing. Listen, real talk, that's real street racing shit. I know people you guys regard as like the most awesome people in the world. This motherfucker trying to show me up a Waffle House shirt. I love you though. But listen, I know people that you guys regard as saints and idolize and whatnot, who when there's a street cash days, they're there a day or two beforehand getting test hits and getting data when nobody's supposed to be doing it. You know what I mean? That's the real hustle of street racing. And if you get smart and want to argue and all that stuff, it could be a whole different situation. I'll tell you this, the track's the best place for no prep racing to happen, period. It will only be fun, sunshine, and rainbows for a very short time. I'm not trying to boogeyman the shit or nothing like that. I'm just being very honest and realistic with everybody. Those kind of comments is not living within reality. And listen, the Prestons didn't go to the race. They got caught. Whatever their intention was, I can't say. I wasn't there. I don't talk to them about it. You know what I mean? All I know is what I saw on Facebook. They made a pass backwards. They got caught. They said they weren't going to the race because they felt that was the fairest thing to do. What else could you ask for?
I don't know what they're worried about. I mean, what the fuck were they testing for? The first 5 pair down?
Yeah.
It wasn't like they had 50 cars there and could simulate a first round and then head on into second and third and fourth and fifth. So to me, it don't matter. I understand why people are mad. And that's what makes this world great is people have different opinions. And
everybody's entitled to them. Let me say that.
I totally understand. If you don't want to go because they did this or Happy didn't ban them and you didn't want to go or whatever, more power to you, and like, who am I to tell you what to think or how to rock? Hey, Brittany, we'll see you this weekend. And that kind of ties into the Onondaga deal. Like, I guess if we're going to sum my story up on that or whatever, it's been about 3 years now or something. I've been working with Woody. And I want to start off by asking every single person on here, how many people do you know that are 80 plus years old? And then now, if you know if you're lucky enough to know someone that's made it that far, I want you to tell me how you think they act. And then I want you to think if you're going to change them. You're not. They're 81 years old. They're going to be who they're going to be. So I'm not even mad at Woody in this situation. What we did last year was wrong. I argued at War in the Woods the week before that big race to do what you said you would do. You told, and just to catch anyone up that don't know, he had a point series. You were supposed to run a sticker on your car and then like a little sticker on the windshield that said you were part of the point series. And if you qualified within the top 10 or the top 15, I don't even remember, of points, you got to rate those people from these 3 tracks were going to get to race for $20,000. And when he called me at War in the Woods and said, I want to switch this up, I didn't make any money this year at the track, which is understandable, or, maybe that's a lie. Maybe that's the truth. I don't know. But he's like, if I'm going to keep this thing going, I got to know that we can make money here or whatever, was the pitch to me. And then originally, like I said, while we're going back and forth, I'm telling him, Woody, you got to do what you said. If we piss off all these local racers, that's our bread and butter. Those are the main people that show up to every event. Unless you're going to put 20, and this is exactly what I told him, unless you're going to put 10, 20 grand on the pot every time we hold a no prep race, we're not going to get all these out of state people. I mean, you'll get, a few of the Ohio guys, a few of the Indiana guys, some of the Chicago guys. You're not going to get all the Kentucky guys and all the Oklahoma guys and the Kansas guys and Beater Bomb and Hate Tank and the Prestons. You're just not going to get all those guys there. But So in the end, I get home from War in the Woods Monday, and he tells me, you don't tell me. I see a post where he's opened it up. So he's going to open the race up. Anyone can come, 20 grand to win, which is a cool race. But like, obviously now you have a bunch of pissed off people that may have skipped other events to go to these point series races for this 20 grand. And, like, I don't care, you can go back to the one interview I did with you before it, my opinion on it, which once again, that's my opinion. No one else has to agree with that or anything. And I'm an idiot most of the time. So I would never fault someone for being like, yeah, Jasper's an idiot. I don't agree with him, because that's probably true 90% of the time. But my feeling was, and it's selfish, that I want to keep the track open. It's 10 minutes from my house. I can go there and test, just like the Prestons tested at the one place. I don't get any data for the Onondaga race. I go there to find out if my trans brake that I rewired's working. I go there to find out if the anti-roll bar is set right and we're not going left or right. Like, I don't ever go there to try to like run a number, because once again, like I said, when I go there and test, it's just me. And even if I make 5 passes in 4 hours, because that's how long, I'd probably cool my car to make that many passes, I can't simulate anything but like the first 3 pair down the track. So like, if I go in first round and draw 7th pair, I don't even have data. And then secondly, the Prestons at US 60 or me at Onondaga, I guess I'll not say the other names of people that do things like this, they're not getting any data either. Like, and we've all run these tracks so many damn times. I don't need any data from Onondaga. I mean, I've got shock data from every single inch, centimeter of that track. I've been there in the cold, the hot, the humidity, the dry. It don't matter. I've been there. I have data. Like, there ain't nothing to test there for, in my opinion. Like, I might see if a car reacts to this bar angle or something in 100 feet, but there's not much there. So that argument I don't care about, but I also understand if people do. And I'll also say that I never tested there 2 weeks before an event. Like, I would stay at Woody, wouldn't let us, actually. So I'm an idiot and ramble on dumb shit. We'll go back to what I was talking about. Woody Monday changes the race format. So now, instead of the local guys from the 3 tracks getting a shot at 20 grand, which no questions asked is much easier than racing Frankenstein, Beater Bomb, Hate Tank, Boost 12, Brandon Moore, Brian White, Billy, all these people for 20 grand. So I also understand why they're mad. Me personally is like, finally, I have the advantage. Let's go. You know what I mean? I wanted to race that so bad, because I go to US 60 and I know the fucking Prestons have an advantage. I go to Hartshorn where I know Casey Max and them, they don't test there, but they've raced there 18,000 times. Like, so usually I'm the guy when I travel that don't have an advantage. So me being selfish, which was probably wrong, and me buying into we're saving the track, somewhat, or keeping it open, went with him and talked to all these out-of-state drivers, because we're buddies, and got them to come, which had a lot of people pretty pissed off at me, even though I believe most of them knew that this wasn't changing whether I said something, didn't show up or not. So, and I understand that. I totally understand why people were pissed off. So then, and JC Cox, you're right. I believe if you're tested, the Preston situation is a completely different situation than me comparing Onondaga. For one, Onondaga has test and tune. That's usually when I go test to try to find if something's working for the surface, because they're running a bracket race or they're running a test and tune, and there is a ton of cars going down the track. So I get there early. I make a hit. That gives me more of a first round. And then I wait 2 hours so the track gets really good. And then I go up and find out what I can do in the finals or semis or 3rd round, 4th round, whatever. The Prestons tested on a track that was advertised as a virgin surface. That's fucked up. Period. You shouldn't have did that. Like, I don't know all the situation with that. I don't know if like they were regrinding that surface because that was said. I don't know. But no matter what, regrinding it or not, if Woody had made a virgin surface there, my ass wouldn't have been on it until the advertised virgin race was done. You know what I mean? So that's wrong. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts. I'm not going to try to lie or anything just because I've tested before at places or whatever. But either way, like, that was fucked up and that happened. But in this story, we run that race. You were at that race, Josh. He stood on the back of the golf cart, loosely apologized to everyone that did show up. I came up with the solution that we would give Sherm Baker and Corey Malone tied for first place in points. And I ended up giving them both. We came up with, we're going to give both of them $2,000 for coming first in points to try to smooth this over, which some people would probably think is better than you get first place in points and what you get rewarded with is you now have to race Jasper for 20 grand on a surface he knows really well. You know what I mean? Like, your odds aren't as good as the 2 grand guaranteed handed to you. So some people would say that's sweet. Some people like Sherman Corey, they're bad dudes, especially, you know, like they got a lot of data on that track. So they probably felt like I felt that I have a really good shot at 20 grand if it was run the way he originally said. But it wasn't. So we opened this up. He loosely apologized. Sherm didn't show up. Corey did. This is where everything gets kind of worse. So at that, he stood on a golf cart at the drivers' meeting and told everyone that Jasper is running this next year. So I stuck with this at that point. He messaged me at some point this year, and I wanted to do 2 races. I could already see that there were way too many races going on in Michigan. There's way too many races going on everywhere in the country. That's really what's affecting small tire. Everyone that's like, it's this, it's that, it's this. Sure, 1 or 2 people are affected by the things you're saying. But the number one thing that's affecting car count right now is that, at least from where I am, almost every weekend, there is at least 3 races within 3 to 4 hours of me. I mean, that's just going to affect car count. I mean, everyone's going to stay close with gas prices the way they are nowadays, with families for some of these guys wanting to stay home or be home an extra day and not have to stay at a hotel. All these factors are making people just go to the race that's closest. Or like when the races are spaced out more, you don't have everyone is rushing to get their car done. You have to get it done because the next race is so far away, or, you know, this many weeks away, that you make sure you make it. Well, now those people are waiting. I'll just wait till next week because there's a race every single weekend. So I don't got to rush to get this car done to go to this banger of a race because I'll just go to the one next week. So
The next banger.
and that's a whole separate problem. But so Woody said I was going to be able to run the track. That didn't really happen. I showed up to the first race this year. I didn't think I was fully running it until the track staff come over and was like, hey, can, you know, and let's make something abundantly clear here. I don't get paid to run those events. Not a fucking dollar. I don't get any of the gate. I don't get a guaranteed this much. I literally ran those races because a track is 10 minutes from my house. I want to keep it open. It's been a part of my family for probably 40, 60 years, however long that's been open. My grandpa raced there. My dad raced there. The track itself means a lot to me. So all I've ever done is run these races so that drivers could have a race. The one race that I ever did there that I would call my race is the turn and burn race, which, as you see, is done right, in my opinion. And once again, this is a really moronic dude's opinion. But
no, it was definitely the biggest
I
race
run
there
commercials for
last
my
year.
race months ahead of times, like actual commercials we go shoot. and constantly post about, Josh, like a promoter is supposed to get people in the door. I went around all the local businesses and threw flyers up, and I needed fans there. That's a race I run. The other ones I show up to, it's 10 minutes from my house. My family can come drag racing with me. And if I don't run the chip draw and the tire crack cram and these things, they're not going to happen. So that's why I do it. But I don't get paid. I don't get paid a dime, nothing, to now take away from my race program while I'm answering questions to every single driver in the building. I'm running the chip draw or getting my crew to help with the chip draw, making sure the cams are in place before each round. And then, as Josh knows, the average me helping anyone who comes up and asks with an issue with their car, whether that's, can you help me put this tune in, or can you give me some help with my shocks, or who knows what that is. But so like, it was very frustrating to me the whole time, because I make a pass because I'm entered in the race. Otherwise, I'm definitely not running this if I can't race, because then what's the point at all? For me, anyways, because once again, you're not making a dime. This ain't like I get half the gate or something, and it's worth me not racing to make 3,000 or 2,000 or 1,000 for the day. I get nothing.
Well,
all
which
this
you should, and your people should get compensated.
For sure.
For
and
that.
Chuck should be paid, or whoever is flagging for the day should be paid. Like Limpy came and flagged one and got paid. Either way, like, I don't get paid though. I do make sure the flaggers and my guys are getting paid or something, and that's handled, but I don't get paid for running any of this. So we get to the first race. I run it. I won the next one. So like, we kept going through this because, you know what I mean? Like, when you're winning, it's fun. So we kept doing it. I asked him at the second race, he come over to my trailer and was sitting with us. And if you ever met Woody personally, like outside of the track or outside of the country, dude, he's a really cool dude. He has really awesome old school stories like any 80-year-old dude would have, that's not Biden and can actually have a conversation with you. And he's a really cool dude. But so he comes to the trailer, we're talking. I told him then, you have to apologize. You have, because he's asking me when he gets to the trailer, why are only 10 cars here? I said, 10 cars are here because the other 15 we'd have are mad about what happened last year. Can we make an apology? Once again, he's 81 years old. So he's like, no, pretty much like, no. So at that point there, I ran that race. I got done with it, but I made a decision myself then that if you're not going to apologize to my friends, to people I race with, to Joe Williams, of all people, like, this dude's banning or trying to originally tried to ban Joe until I was like, bro, do you see the front of my car? Like, I literally pointed out of my trailer to the front of my car that has a gigantic bipolar sticker on it and said, if we're banning Joe, I'm loading up right now. So at that point, he said Joe could come, but Sherm couldn't. So Joe, even though is a man of integrity, as you know, and when this went wrong, Joe cares so much about the racers, Joe isn't ever coming back. And that's just facts. So that puts me already in a very awkward position, because I prefer to have Joe at every single place I go. He's such a great dude. Dude, this guy would literally run back and forth to push my car back to the pits if that's what I needed done. In a 100-degree day, pouring sweat off him. Like, Joe's just an amazing human being. And so to not be able to have him there, that sucks. And yeah, Sherm's an old dude too and can be a dick sometimes, but I still don't believe him being banned is right. And then after that race at the end of the year, because Sherm didn't show up, Woody didn't want to give him his $2,000. So some of the racers and Joe and other people, we rounded up some money and gave Sherm that money. Sherm refused to take it. But in the end, I sat there and talked to him, and then I went over and started my car, and then I waved my hand like, hold up, and made him roll down his window, and then threw the money in the car and took off and ran. So, and I mean, we all know how slow Sherm is, so there was no way he was catching me in his car, on foot. It don't matter. Now, I know the video of Everett catching on fire and Sherm running to shut him off will make you think that old dude's fast. But that was sped up video. But either way, all this was a bad look, a bad situation. Just like you said, Josh, because of this, we both, lost some friends, whether we were trying to do the right thing or trying to do what we thought was right. It got kind of ugly. And either way, it was supposed to all fall onto me next year. So I was like, okay, we'll save this. You know what I mean? Like, we can turn this around because, part of me being who I am, has a lot of people that'll come rally around that situation. Well, it didn't work that way. So once it didn't work that way and we got to Saturday where he don't want to apologize to the other racers, I was already done. I knew I was coming to PYOP. I knew you'd be there. I knew we would talk. So I was like, and then I almost forgot.
It was hot.
It was hot. We were all dead at the end. But either way, thank God you mentioned it and we remembered. And then, so I was already canceling it. Well, then to like ice the cake, he then wants to close his track for heat for this last weekend. Dude, I have no problem with that. I understand other racers did, but once again, instead of handling it the right way, like a business owner should, because as someone that owns businesses, I can tell you over and over again why my business is successful is because I am really good at eating shit.
It comes with it.
I'm amazingly good at eating shit. Now, I'll once in a while throw a jab at Biden on here or prop up something I don't like political wise. But if you go look at my Facebook, I don't ever. And why that is because it's 50-50 in this world. And I ain't losing 50% of my customers. So I don't get to voice my opinion on my page all the time. And that's my choice. And other people, and I love people that do voice their opinion. I love that. Like Lonnie. A lot of people are mad at Lonnie right now. I'm not mad that Lonnie shared that video. Now, I don't fully know how the whole entire video was handled. Like, maybe you could have sent it to Happy first and said, hey, I'm going to post this whether you want me to or not, but I thought I'd give you a heads up. I don't know what was all involved in this, but I'm not mad at Lonnie for posting a video that showed that some people did some shit that was shady. Like, and I'm not mad at the Prestons. I'm like you, Josh. I 100% am like, if you can get away with it, go with it.
Listen,
straight up. I mean, dude.
I know tons of people who are loved and revered who do the same thing. They just ain't been caught.
Way to go.
They talk to me and tell me I'm never telling anybody's business. It's not my place, but it happens a lot more frequently than people think.
No, almost every race you go to, minus Jeff Thomas's.
Yeah.
Like, you do not test at War in the Woods. Because I promise you, if you could, I would. I would be the first dude he'd probably let do it with him. So you can't touch War in the Woods. And that's about the only race there is, where you really can't possibly end up on that track because Jeff owns it. So
I was going to say, especially now.
But like I said, that's my opinion. And that doesn't have to be everyone else's. And that doesn't mean that I won't still love you and loan you my jack or drive 100 miles from the track to try to get you to the track because you got a trailer that failed or whatever. I have no problem with people that don't see eye to eye with me. And that doesn't mean I want to fight them, nothing. I understand that people can see different. This is coming from a guy that's found out 1,000 fucking times I'm wrong. And I have no problem admitting that. We're wrong all the time. If you guys have been watching us
for being wrong right now,
5 years, I miss Maynard so much, man. But if you've been watching us for 5 years, the name of our group of dudes that race with us is second tight. So we're already openly telling you that it takes us twice, and we gonna fuck a lot of shit up.
Don't say stuff
Daniel.
like that.
Daniel
I'm
whooped
drinking.
my ass this weekend too. I should just block his comments on here real quick, but I'm not a bitch like that. Daniel's been fast, dude. I already knew that I was going to have to run Daniel here soon, and that you cannot make a mistake against Daniel.
Yeah.
And Trevor,
Right,
who we had on the show last night, is a similar dude that you can no longer make a mistake and still, whop it a couple times and get by. You either make the run that you intended to run or you lose, unless he does something that screws him up too. But yeah, Daniel's an awesome dude. Just got that car back together. Yeah, JC, I would come get you. Like, you can ask Josh. You have no idea. Did you need me send you money? Like, I might be able to even just rent you a car you can go pick up if you can get there. But, like, after all this, I just felt like I after he fights with the racers, and like one of the racers is, Matt Munson. I don't know if everyone knows Erica and Matt Munson. I know they've been on here and stuff. They're probably two of the best people there possibly is in this sport.
No, it don't. Yes, they are.
Every single thing right with racing. And like I said, I was already canceling this, but I mean, after that, that was like a nail in the coffin. So we canceled it. Once again, I want everyone to understand that Woody is 80 years old. When my grandparents were 80 years old, they weren't even as spry as Woody. They never could have even possibly ran a track. They barely, could fully function or even drive a car over 35 miles an hour. I remember when I rolled up on my grandma when she was 79 and saw that she had like 45 cars in a line behind her on M50 and followed her to her house and said, "Grandma, what's going on? Are you all right?" "Yeah, what do you mean?" And I'm like, "You can't drive 35 on a fucking 65-mile-an-hour highway that's one lane. Like, you got to get moving, dude. You're going to cause problems." Everyone's going by her, honking, flicking her off. Woody can still drive a car. Fuck, I watched Woody run that Pro Mod he has, that blown injected Studebaker, down the track last year. Like, and I'll still be it on a Dega on a Sat. I told Woody in my trailer, you need to start putting your money and big money on the bracket and index. Because you're getting a decent car count there. You didn't do a points thing that pissed off all the drivers. You know what I mean? And I don't think he's greedy, dude. And I don't have to make excuses for him. But someday I'm going to be 80. And I promise you, I'm going to be a fucking doing shit that people don't agree with. So that's why I'm making excuses for him, because I pray to God someone makes excuses for me, or at least says, "Bro, that dude used to be a great dude. You ain't going to change him. He's stuck in these old ways," because nowadays everyone's like full rainbowed up and Pride Month is Pride Year. I don't even want to know what 10 years looks like. And hopefully people cut me some slack, but I'm also not going to support it. I'm not going to, I'll go there if I need to test my car for an event, because it's very similar for War in the Woods. And I'll go there and make hits still on a Wednesday or on a, like a bracket day, and give the fans, at least a cool 4-second car to watch go down, here and there. And I don't hate him. I'm not even really mad at him. I can't keep doing this and keep losing friends and having my sponsors, call me and kind of be like, "Hey, what's going on?" I don't even want that call. I want them to call and say, "Hey, dog, I love what you're doing for us. I love that you're making posts. I love that you never trash anyone. I love that, when you had that problem with our product, you didn't throw a fit or make a Facebook post. You called us and says, 'Hey, let's keep this hush right now, but let's figure out how to fix it so that we don't sell anymore and have people mad.'" Or, you know what I'm saying? And that's how you're supposed to work with your sponsors and with your friends and with the people that support you. Work with them, not against them. Don't run right to Facebook and make a post. Don't be so thirsty for attention that you got to make a post to try to be first to make the post and get all the comments going on it. I'm bored too sometimes, man. I want to just bullshit online, but Give it a second. Yesterday was a prime example. There were so many people commenting on Nikki's post, and I know the whole story. I've known the whole story for a long time, and I'm just dude, I was screenshotting some motherfuckers like, yo, you gonna really regret saying this. I commented on a few, and I don't usually comment on shit, but a couple of them read me the wrong way. But
if you think industry people don't monitor your feeds,
oh, you're dead wrong, man. Everyone, I have people ask me a lot of times, how the fuck do you get all these sponsors, dog? You ain't Ryan Mitchell. You don't go win everywhere you go. Why? Because I constantly talk about them, and I never badmouth anyone, not just them, anyone. And you shouldn't. This is the number one rule. If you are a cool human being, you need to thank everyone that's not. Because if they weren't, you'd just be an average, normal motherfucker. But since so many people in this world suck, that allows some people to be cool. So don't hate the people that suck or hate the haters. You need them to that way look cool. And don't be a hater because they suck. But essentially, that's why I couldn't carry on with it. And not only that, even if I wanted to carry on with it, I promise you the next race, whether it was turn and burn or not, was going to have less than 10 cars. Less. Like, you don't make money that way. You cannot make money with less than 10 cars. So I had a ton of racers over the last 2 months write me and want me to try to do something to get some of the races out. Well, here you go. I got a whole track schedule cut out, so that way, you know, maybe we can get the car count up at a couple of these other ones. But yeah, I can't have someone constantly attack my buddies or the people that I got to go to other places and hang with, and then rock your sticker on my car and constantly try to smooth this over while running a race for free and costing myself, because I run around, come back to my car, I start to download my tune, and then I can't even read my log because I went down and helped so-and-so, and then on the way back had to go check for another driver that's complaining this one don't have insurance, he don't think, for True Street. So then I got to go down and make this dude show me his insurance. Then I got to run up and round all these drivers up in the pits to get chip draw going, and then get chip draw done. And then everyone's pulling up to the lanes, and Jasper's the worst luck ever. So he drew Isaac Preston, first pair down, second round. And now I've never even looked at my tune. I don't even have time to adjust it, even if I got a real good idea what it is. And now I'm going to rush up like a maniac, throwing my suit on and my Hans and all uncomfortable, and pull up there and try to race. So like, I tried, but it's too much. Like I can't do it anymore. And that's just how it is. And like I said, I don't want anyone to hate on him. I don't want anyone to get mad at him. I just want some people to understand that when you get really old, you do what you want. And that doesn't mean that the world didn't change and what you want is different than what people wanted back in the day. Like, to me, he reminds me of my grandpa a lot. And I loved my grandpa so much, man. He was one of the coolest motherfuckers in the entire universe. But he was hardcore. Like, he stuck to his guns, right or wrong. He was loyal to what he said. And I think a lot of that has disappeared nowadays, which is a problem. But just understand that that dude honestly meant well when he started all this. That guy honestly just wanted to put big races on and give people a place to race. And it's turned into this, and it sucks that it did. But, hey, at least maybe some of the other races in the state will have a higher car count from this, because there'll be at least 1 week off a month in Michigan now.
Yeah. And listen, hey,
sure, but
you're never too old to change. So, you know, maybe Woody will realize that being an asshole is going to cost him that track at some point.
Well, I don't even know if he cares. Like, he has a lot of money.
Well, if he does care, then he's going to have to realize that he's going to have to change, because nobody wants to hang out with an asshole.
And some of this too is
Onondaga in Michigan.
So like some of this too is I don't know if social media is probably a big hard to understand for him. You and I, you even talked about this, I think earlier today, Josh, or earlier in this podcast. I can't remember. I saw you talking about it just a little bit ago about how back in our day, you said some shit and a dude might fucking bust you in the face because there was no online to say it. You either called this motherfucker up and said, yo, you a piece of shit, or you said it right to his face at the gas station or the bar. So
there was no cool down time where, I saw you 2 weeks later.
And then Woody gets on Facebook, and we all know how the keyboard warriors work. Like, they say a lot of shit. Like, so I don't think Woody was ready for that. And here's a lesson for people, if anyone's wondering. So let's say you want something off another human being. So I want something off Josh. And whatever Josh is doing, I'm very upset about. And I want him to change it. I promise you, if I go up to Josh and I'm like, hey, motherfucker, the first thing that human does is get defensive. Whether he's right, wrong, whether he thinks he's right or wrong, you've now turned this situation into a win-lose situation, not a logic and reason situation or a we can talk this out. You're now going to a win-lose situation. And they will say or do whatever to win. And you're not going to get the result you want. So it's a stupid saying, but you catch more flies with honey than you do with fucking whatever they say.
Yeah.
But, so Woody got kind of busted up on, and he reacted like his generation would. And you're right.
Yeah, you just gotta have
anyone can change at any age. I used to be a complete piece of shit. I was such a piece of shit that it's why I'm the person I am now. Because at some point I realized, man, this karma ain't gonna. That's why, like, we go to Gangsters this weekend, and believe you and me, this is remarkably possible because I ran the winner from the last one in the semifinals. I ran the fastest pass. That's the guy that lined up the guy I'm talking about right now. I ran my fastest no prep pass ever and got fucking donkey stomped. I was out 2 cars at 350 feet and ended probably a car and a half behind him. So if I blow the rods out of my motor this weekend because I added 200 horse nitrous and we're going to run 50 plus pounds of boost out the back, that's why when I pull into the pits, you don't see me mad. You're going to see me happy because one of those piece of shit things I did when I was young just got checked off the board. And I'm that much closer to only good karma, to never getting a shock of bad stuff that I'm paying for the piece of shit I used to be. So people can change, but the most you'll ever get out of Woody, once you get to a certain age, I don't even know, like if you really can change, but the change we might get out of him is he lets someone else run it and just steps back from the no prep side. Do whatever you want with bracket, just step back.
Which would be a good thing, if you're intelligent enough to understand that this isn't for you, you don't have thick enough skin to deal with it, because it's a lot of shit. It's a lot of stress. There's a high emotional and mental demand, putting on events, running tracks, doing maintenance, et cetera, et cetera. So maybe you just wisen up and just say, hey, I need to hire a track manager. So all I have to do is worry about profit and loss and work that angle. And that would be awesome too. But but
like 20 years ago,
ego. I think a lot of that is ego and false pride, and that even won't happen.
And but it happens everywhere. 20 years ago,
I'd be open to it happening, and I'd be more than happy if there was reasonable behavior and conduct and fair towards racers and spectators as a way of life there versus what's happening now to to participate in stuff and help keep that track around. I love that track. I love the people. I always have a great time every time I go there. It's like one of the most freaking welcoming, family-oriented atmospheres there is at any racetrack. Everybody's your best friend in 5 minutes. It's great, and the racing is great. And it's a shame. It's a shame that that could go away.
Yeah, and I mean, like I said, I hope it don't. I hope they keep bracket racing. It makes enough money, and eventually, like I said, he lets someone else run the no prep and gives it another try. I only would want to run 2 races there a year. I believe this running a race every month is a dangerous game.
No, it's not sustainable.
It's just it used to be when there were no races anywhere. You could be a guy that ran one every month and get a decent car count, but
nope, I agree. No,
he's right. It's hard work too. Like, you have so many people calling you before the event, asking so many questions and everything else. Like I said, it was a lot of stress on me. I wasn't really getting anything out of it, and I was losing friends and deals because of it. So
if it's not a win-win, it's just time to move on. That's all.
Yeah. And like I'm saying, I'm not mad at him or mad at anyone. It's just what's got to be done. And I'm not saying that we don't run the turn. I might try to find a spot and a way to do the turn and burn event in October, late September. But I mean, that's hard too with how many races there are, because I'm not a guy that's going to throw up an event and put it on top of someone else's and, you know what I mean, try to steal cars from them.
Well, I have plenty of tracks reaching out. We might still be able to work something out and work together.
And like I said, I'm not opposed to that. Burn guys. I'm not opposed to that. They're in. They're always in. They like to party.
We have fun. We have fun doing it last year. So
I don't know. Like, and then everyone crying about the drama or saying small tire's over. Small tire ain't going anywhere. Like, maybe we lose some cars. But like Ryan Mitchell and Joey Heichel and the whole entire Next Motorsports crew and Jeff Thomas and Billy and Tommy Hoskins and the Mac team and Austin Shepard and Andrew Blanton and Chicken Hawk and Jarrett Bradshaw, they ain't none of us going anywhere. So like, if everyone else wants to leave, then see ya. I'm sorry, but. Small tire racing isn't going to die. Like, we all going to go somewhere and race every weekend or every other weekend. Like,
you're always invited.
Bullshit. We tell this dude to come down to our trailer every time, and then he goes and works like a fucking madman until he looks like he's about to pass out, and then he comes to the trailer for a couple hits before he leaves. You could stay at the trailer all night. I don't know how long you'll last, but you could try to stay there all night.
Yeah, small tires aren't going
Raggedy
anywhere.
Ann's another example. So look what happened to Raggedy Ann this weekend. This dude didn't jump up there like poor me. This dude jumped up there like a man and says, hey, I knew what the consequences are when I let off the motherfucking button. And it can all go to shit. And we'll come back, whether it takes 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, a month. If you got the second tight guys, a week. But either way, we're coming back. Like, that's just how it should be, man. I feel like everyone is running to Facebook to try to post something negative to get a reaction.
I absolutely agree. That's why I made that post today. If everybody
Once again, I'm not mad at that. Because you can't be a cool guy not posting that shit if there aren't dudes posting that shit.
I think we'd all just be better off if we just spoke honestly about and lived in reality versus making intentionally crafted posts for attention or what do you want to call stats? You know, I get it. It's business or attention-seeking behavior, but.
And I'm not saying either like that some things don't need to be said. Like if someone's ripping people off, I'm glad that someone posted this dude's ripping people off. If that's what comes to be found out.
Let's not glance over the other instance that happened that's kind of gotten overshadowed, up at in Michigan. It's not like
wild weekend when Billy Hoskins catches on fire, and it's like the 4th best story that everyone's talking about.
You do
Bro,
have a point. For
like,
real.
what a week of no prep. Like, it was insane.
Yeah.
Like, from the testing deal at US 60 to the Onondaga deal to Billy to Kevin Fields, like dropping the joint and reaching for it and then accidentally jerking the wheel in the process to saving
Fuck
it.
it, dude. Did you see? I never saw a video, but the pictures I saw, oh my God.
Yeah, it's
Wow, what a
unreal. Like
save.
all those
And then to
stories
see him
were
making
just
a pass
swept right
today.
under the rug. Like
And then to
all
see
those
him
stories
making a
would have
pass
headlined the
today.
week if it was
Yeah.
just that for the week. But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I don't think everything's changing like everyone says. I do believe like 26 or True Street, one of those two is going to win, and there is going to be a step down class. But that doesn't mean that everyone still don't want to run small tire or give a crack at it.
Well,
And
I
if you're
think
going to the backside, it's equalized. Everyone's bitch to begin this year was chassis cars. A chassis car didn't win PYLP. We have 4 wins this year in two finals that we split. Not a chassis car. Zach Jones won in a field of chassis cars, stock suspension. You don't have to have that to do it. And I'm not going to be the guy to tell you to work harder. I understand the people bitching that when you say work harder, they're saying I don't have enough money to go through tires. Well, then I would, because I don't have this luxury either. I'm not rich. So, like, I can't just wad up tires every week. And I also have 4 kids that all play sports and do this and do that and do this and do that. So, like, I can't even test that much if I want to. But you know what I do? I spend every single fucking night watching video. And you know what video I've been watching all week? I've been watching any video I can get of Patches and Jarrett Bradshaw from US 60 because it looked like they had a step above every single person there.
dude,
you know what I'm watching? How much is their car separating? How fast is it separating? How much is their tire getting like crushed on the hit? Where do I think they're putting weight? I'm guessing at their bias. How quick is the front suspension coming up? Do I think they're strapping it down? And I'm watching them on repeat for hours. It's on the screen right now, like US 60. And every time they come up, I'm rewind, fast forward, rewind, fast forward. You don't have to spend money to try to work hard.
Well, I think so. You know, I said that earlier in the year, and a lot of people got pissed off. But the thing is, you have to live in reality. So if you can't afford to race against the Prestons, then don't bitch about why they're faster than you. Find your place and race there. Or
go backside racing.
If you want to race against people like the Prestons and you can't afford it, then work harder. Yes, get a second job. Stop bitching, because live in reality. Get a second job to afford that, and then buy all that shit. Work real hard on a YouTube channel and get sponsors and a following and etc. to get all that shit and make it happen. Live within reality, because reality is crying a sea of fucking tears about why it's unfair for them to be where they are when they've busted their ass to get to where they are, and you're not there, and they're the villains for being faster.
So it's no different with weed.
Crock of bullshit ever.
So in Michigan, weed became legal. And this was, I don't know, 10, 12 years ago. Maynard, if he's still watching, will tell me the exact time. But me and Maynard gambled. And this is no joke. If anyone has ever watched the movie American Made, do you remember? Have you seen it, Josh? With Tom Cruise, where he's flying back and forth to Colombia. Do you remember that part when he took his wife to that house and he come and met the FBI agent and he left the bag of money on the plane? And then when he got back to the house, there was an empty spot where the stove was and the dishwasher and the fridge. And his wife was like screaming at him, "What are we going to do? We've been broke for this long." And he just opened the bag and started chucking stacks into those spare spots. That is legitimately what I did. I swear to fucking God, before we ever watch the movie, if Maynard is still on here, he'll tell you this. I told Maynard this story before the movie ever even come out. So what happened is, at the time weed became legal, anyone in this state could have did what we did. You could have built a room, you could have bought all the expensive stuff it takes to grow it, and you could have risked that the plants don't make it the first 2 months. and something happens and you have to restart. Well, when me and Andy did this, we took every fucking dime we had, put this room together, ran this room on fucking hopes and prayers that this makes it to the end and we can cash out, because if it don't, we're done. And I don't mean done like we give up, but we're going to be a good year before we recover and start trying to have a normal life again, because that's how much we put into this. Well, then it worked. I went in and my wife was screaming at me, what are we and I just started throwing snacks into these empty spots and then just took half the bag and dumped it out for her and walked back outside. And she was happy. It's crazy. She was extremely happy. Left me alone for like a week about any of it. Next week, though, she was on me. But either way, it worked. So many of my friends and so many people that knew, like, once we started making really good money off it, they were all like, yeah, you don't do anything for that shit. That shit was easy. It was just given to you. Yeah, you got all that money. Everyone was jealous. But the point is you could have risked this too. You could have ate hot and ready pizzas for 2 months and bought ramens because your kids would eat them, and bought the cheapest shit in the world to try to make that happen like we did. We just got lucky and it worked, but we were willing to take that risk. That doesn't mean it always works. It could have failed for us and we could have been a year behind and no one would have been jealous of us. They all would have been probably trying to help us out. So, yeah, there you go. Hashtag must be nice. Like, yeah, it was so nice once we got there, but there was a really shitty road to get to this point and a lot of stress and anxiety that if this don't work, man, she's probably leaving me.
It's so much easier to be entitled to feel entitled to somebody else's hard work.
So I don't always mean work harder, get more money, but there's other ways you can go about this, or just go to the class that fits you and try to dominate that. I mean, there's a lot of options here. You can take right now, and this is on life. Like, you can take a bone stock junkyard 120,000, 180,000 mile plow truck motor with a VS turbo and a Holley Terminator X, and you can win hard tire if you go figure out what you're doing. That is enough power to win hard tire at a lot of events, almost every single event there is. So, and you know how long hard tires last? When we interviewed Mustang, he told us 2 years, year and a half.
Oh,
so
yeah,
don't teach me about tires. Set the thing up on ethanol with an intercooler. You aren't blowing through fuel, and voila. Like, voila. You can do this for cheap. Go to that class. I mean, I bet 100%, maybe 99% of the racers that are bitching about small tire have enough power to run hard tire. There's another dude right there, Tyler Cox. That boy's fast as fuck. And how many chassis cars does he whoop the fuck out of? You think that Tyler Cox right now is scared to go to KD and run anyone? Fuck no. So, like, I doubt Tyler Cox tests 5 times a week. Like, everyone needs to just calm down. Quit trying to be so negative. It's not going to happen because that's just what humans do. And the world is getting more and more and more negative. Like, I try to tell people all the time, quit getting road rage. Quit getting mad that dude cut you off. Maybe that dude's trying to get to the birth of his son. Maybe his house is on fire right now. And it's not. But that's what I tell myself, so I feel better.
No, it's easier to be negative. I would
too, Tyler. If I could test every day, if I could test right now, I'd shut this off and go test. Like, I would leave right now. There's nothing more I like doing than making hits in my car, whether I'm next to someone, solo, don't care. That's the funnest thing I do. But see, he's still on his first set. And then, like I said, Mustang. So, like, we're taking arguably the top hard tire guy there is running his set of tires for a year and a half, 2 years. Like, so there's places to go, man. Just quit trying to ruin everyone else's jam.
Yeah. Live within reality. Where can I fit in best and excel best? And if I want to compete against the Prestons, then what do I have to do to be in that realm of competition? And then go do that shit. Make more money. work on your car, da 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 da. All the shit I know you guys don't want to hear who like to live in the negative, because that's reality. That is what it takes. Well,
my
that's
wife
what it takes.
is still yelling at me. She just wrote me and said, "Who you talking? Who you yelling at in the garage?"
Josh.
I didn't say that. I said, "I'm not yelling." She says, "You're too fucking loud."
Oh yeah.
She's right. I'm too loud. Dude, Eric,
Oh,
so like Eric is one of my best friends. I can't wait to get a hug from him this weekend. It literally cracks my back. That's really why I love it so much. Plus, it's Pride Month, and I'll just straight say it. Like, I'm gay as fuck for him. And it literally just warms and melts my insides when he gives me that hug. But Eric is why me and Eric from the like 4 years ago, War in the Woods, where we first met, and just like, well, we met another time, but that's where like we really like hung out and talked and like became friends. He had a life like me. Eric understands that like there were moments where we were not doing great at all. Josh, you too. You 100% know this.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, you know, I know it's hard to wish this on anyone, but I wish more people had hard times in their life, because from judging by how they act, they have not. Like,
well, I think everybody has their own hard times. I think maybe more accurately is we wish they would overcome them and be able to view things like we do, or a little more like we do, because a lot of the stuff that goes on is so unimportant, and it's such a distraction from the goals that they say they want to achieve. You know,
it's exactly the opposite.
It is.
But I'm gonna let you get back to it. I had Mike walk in.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, anyone watching that supports us or whatever, thanks so much. And sorry about the Onondaga races, but as Josh said and as I said, it just, we feel that's the right way to handle this. Like, I tried, and you tried too. Probably harder than we should. No, and I'll admit that mistake. Like I said, I'm not going to sit here and argue to the death why I did what I supported, or played this game. I was wrong. And
well, your heart was in the right place.
I'll give Sherm Baker credit too. Sherm Baker told me, you're going to get burned, or you're going to be bummed, you know, and you were right, Sherm. In the end, it didn't go like I thought. I will say that I was pretty sure of that too, but I'm a guy that loves to try to see the best in everything and hope for it. But
yeah, well, live and learn, brother. You know, there's listen. I love. This is one of the things I love about you is you do have a youthful enthusiasm about situations, and I think more of us need that, because man. I think it's a great way to view things sometimes, you know.
The junkyard, Tyler, we were talking about that you could take a junkyard LS with a VS turbo and not much money, a Terminator X, and you can win hard tire events. And the tires last 1.5 years. So if you're bitching about money or that you can't do this or that, then step down to hard tire. It's a very competitive class, and it doesn't take $1 million car to run in it.
Yeah.
We weren't talking about your car. I don't know what he runs. He's probably got some dart block, billet, Next Energy, Frankenstein headed, solid roller, 7-speed Liberty with a Marty rear end in that car. I don't know.
Tyler got all the best of the best. Tyler got all the best of the best. What's the name of your car? What's the name of your car, Tyler? You know how many
people walk up to my car and then look inside and they're like, oh my God, I didn't know your car was like this. You know what I mean? Because it looks so shady on the outside, and then you look at it, it's double frame rail. It's fucking about as much money as you could spend on an LS, Marty rear end, all this shit. And they're like, whoa, like you got a lot of car. I hide it well.
Stock sleeve LC9. And Tyler's car name is King Turd.
There you go. So like, see, Tyler's winning small tire races with a plow truck motor. Just whooping on dudes. So yeah, I just, And that's, we've won a lot this year, and I attribute all that to being able to run my car for a very long time and get very familiar with it.
Yeah.
And I believe that Tyler would probably tell you the same thing. I've made a lot of hits on this car, and eventually shit started clicking.
You just get familiar. You gotta find your groove with each other, But yeah. Hi, puppy.
Oh, Deaky.
Is my homie shaved off any more flesh? That's all he did yesterday.
Hooked himself with a fish hook today and ripped a line up his arm. And this kid wants me to buy him a 125.
Bro,
like
do
a
it.
2-stroke 125 and just hand it to him. I'm like, dog, you are making it 1 week.
Do it.
I know you got to. Brian White screwed it all up and told him while we were standing there in front of him, oh, you got to buy him a 125. And then he thinks the world of Brian White because Brian White tunes for Beta and helped Beta get their motorcycles out, which is a new company this year. And yes, that kid needs bubble wrap. Yeah. Did you just reference Tyler Durden? I want a future.
I want a future wagon.
One of my best friends named his kid Tyler after Tyler Durden. Do you know who he's talking about, Josh?
Oh, I know who Tyler Durden is.
Okay, so don't say anything. Anyone in the comments, who is Tyler Durden? Obviously not Eric answering. I want to see who's first to tell us who Tyler Durden is. It's not Sean Salt.
He said all the cool kids are in hard tire. Eric is agreeing.
Yeah, see, too many people are too young to even know who Tyler is. No one knows who Tyler Durden is. Mike, do you know who Tyler is? Oh, man. My friend sitting across from me, don't even. See, he's right. Alter ego. Yeah. There we go. Steven called it out. It's fucking Brad Pitt from Fight Club, dude. Oh, that is disappointing. Damn, that's bad. And we even played the Pixies song the other day, referencing the end of the movie when they're blowing up all the buildings.
That's a great movie. If you haven't seen that movie, definitely.
Dude, that post I made today, that reel with Lil Wayne talking, that is my new favorite line ever. Where what's he say? He says, I wasn't always, or what's he say? I've been wrong quite a few times, but we trying to be right now.
Yep.
And then he says, what's Birdman tell him all the time? Ah, fuck, that was so
I saw that clip. I know what you're talking about. You know what? Jenna brought up a good point, though. We don't talk about Fight Club. So if you ask about Tyler Durden, nobody could really answer, though. Oh, fuck, we got loophole, bro.
Damn, dude. We just put ourselves in like a paradox. That's what he says. Okay, so he said, I wasn't always. He's saying, I'm not saying I didn't do anything wrong, but now we doing it right. And then he says, fuck how we used to be, we how we need to be now. And that is going to be my new saying for everything, because we used to be shit and now we do it right. So if you're doing it wrong right now, you can still change and do it right.
Well, I think something I heard a while back that stuck with me is, I had to behave like the rooms I'm in now. I used to be in different rooms doing different shit because I was a different person, but sometimes that different person wants to come back out, and I just have to remember what rooms I'm in today and act accordingly.
That's why me and Eric get along. Because Eric. Oh, I fucking love Eric.
You were ahead of the curve on that. He said that's what I was talking about when I said I can't talk about it. You were ahead of it. We had to catch up. It's a great movie, though. If you haven't seen it, definitely watch Fight Club.
Yeah, it is an amazing, amazing movie. Well, all right, guys. I'm going to check out and burn some more weed. Eric, I'll see you this weekend. Josh?
Saturday, bro. I can't get off work Friday, but I'll be there Saturday.
As long as you're there, dude, you know what trailer to go to. Bob Rice, if you're still listening, I'm going to bring you some rosin carts and a package. and Erica and Matt and Gina. Are you guys making it or what? Did they get Joe's truck done?
Don't be nice to Bob Rice. He was mean to me this weekend.
Was he really?
Yeah, man. You know
Sweet. I'm going to go right to Facebook right now and make a post. Fuck Bob Rice. Bob Rice been ripping off children, stealing all their candy. I hope he's listening, man. I love Bob.
No, Bob and Kelly are some of the best people. I love them together.
Right,
that's the funny thing. They give me shit in stereo. I love you too, brother. I'll see you Saturday.
All right. See you guys.
Oh, he's out there welding still.
Love you, Josh.
Love you, brother. I'll talk to you before I see you Saturday.
All right. Tyler, you better be at Gangsters. You could win that bitch.
Yeah. Why are you pulling the heads off the hard tire truck? Yeah, see, wouldn't give you water at Killcare. He's Bob's mean, man. He saw you earlier. You don't need an invite now. They changed it. So Friday is its own race and Saturday is a second race, its own race. Same rules, same principle, same everything. 2 races, 1 weekend. You don't have to race Friday to race Saturday. And it's not an invite only race anymore. Open to all people. So you can come out and race Friday and Saturday, or just Friday, or just Saturday. Oh, she's worse than he is. You wouldn't believe the mean things Kelly says and does to me. It's horrible. Kelly's the meanest woman I ever met in my life. They're both great people. I love them to death. So anyhow, this went on a lot longer than I anticipated. But there's pretty much the whole history and everything there. I do have several tracks that I'm talking to, so I'm going to firm things up, and then I'll talk to Jasper and see if they want to collab again. If not, I will probably do something in the Ohio area, October, November-ish. We're trying to work something out. It can be fun. We'll have a lot of fun. I try. She just won't. She's just mean to me. No, I attribute it all to Jasper. He showed up and was a rock star. No, they're great people, man. They're great people. Maybe. Yes. Something. I can. Yeah. I got text I have to answer right now. I can't wait to answer and see, because they've sent me a couple potential dates. It'll be a whole new deal. It'll be. I'm excited about it, and I'm excited about the future, as well. Can be fun. Like I said, I got a few new ideas for a few. I think a good solution for the small tire dilemma. We'll have fun. She was with me in the beginning. Did you see her? As soon as I sit down, she misses fat me, because when I was fatter, she used to love to lay on my belly. It was her favorite pillow. Now she's kind of mad at me when I sit in the chair. But, to summarize, don't be shitty people. If you're a track owner, a promoter, a promoter's subcontractor, you know. And what I always tell all you racers is, stop getting finessed by these people. Stop. They do dumb shit, they do sketchy shit, and then they give you a sob story, tug on your heartstrings. The only way we're going to get rid of them is to stop giving them money and get them out of the industry. So when you have these people who are ripping off, there's two different instances this past week where people have been accused of ripping off sponsors and racers and whatnot. And one of them was a pair of promoters, and the other was Jeff Thomas's subcontractor. So Thomas's are victims in this as well, and they've done a lot to make things right for the racers and the people who've spent money, etc. So when you see these shitbags doing shitbag stuff, stop giving them money, stop going to their events, stop supporting them, and eventually they'll go away. We need to weed out all the shitbags in the industry and support the real ones who do stuff with integrity and honesty and who care about the racers. Doesn't mean we don't make mistakes, but there's a huge difference between mistakes and being con artists and crooks. Huge difference. I'll cash app you my 37 cents I have right now. But listen, I have hundreds of these t-shirts. I'll send you one. I'll be wearing these things till I'm 100. Nah, not everybody, but people, some people do suck, and dogs are always awesome. Animals are always awesome. You know what I mean? Just period. But they don't know, think about it. They don't know about trying to buy a freaking pair of Jordan shoes or whatever, you know what I mean? Or they don't know about egos or insecurities or desperation. They just got to hang out, chill, get petted and fed. Most animals have a pretty damn good life. Pink OGR shirt. I think I got to do those again. The pinks and the greens, man, were some of my favorites from a couple years ago. She probably trained. My cat's an asshole too, but listen, I love that fucker to death. She kills mice, and then I'm gonna get off here. Here's Erica. I hope you're still on here for this one. You'll appreciate this one. She kills mice all the time, and she'll eat half of them, and she'll leave me the other half somewhere. She's put them in my shoes. She's put them right outside the bedroom door. I'll check and see. I know we probably don't have many, but I do think I need to do another run of greens and pinks because those were my favorite shirt colors of all time. So she leaves. Yes, she leaves me my cut of her kill as a gift every time. I'll wake up and there's half a mouse or a percentage of a mouse in the hallway, in my shoe, by my shoe, whatever. And I mean, she's a mouser. She's killed dozens of them. We live in a country. Well, for the last month, for whatever reason, all of a sudden she has this thing where when I get up in the morning, she has to go to the bathroom with me. Oh, I have not had that one yet. I do not want that one either. She has to go to the bathroom with me. And then, I sit down and handle my business for 15 or 20 minutes, scrolling and petting her. And we just have our little morning time together. Well, this fucking cat left a half-eaten mouse in the toilet for me this morning. Obviously, I can't post it. Usually I post a picture like, oh, it's so cute, but I can't post a picture of a half-eaten mouse in a toilet. But I'd never heard of such a thing. This is the silliest shit ever. But listen, that damn cat loves me. She had to make sure I got my cut, and she knew where I'd be when I woke up. So she put the mouse in the shitter. I go into the bathroom, and there's a wet paw print. There's a wet paw print on the seat, and a half-eaten mouse in the toilet. I mean, what more could you ask for out of love from an animal? Oh, it's his cat. Is he trying to be macho on the live feed? Oh, I agree. We got a ton of them to get rid of. So yeah, animals are usually better than people. Yeah. Speaking of the hellion, Waffles. Come here. Hey. Come here. All right. Typical cat move. Got to put her butthole in my face. Yeah, you can tell she runs everything. Hey. These shots are $5. Start sending them in. Send the money in now. She got the only kitties. Whoa. Anyhow, I love you guys. Those of you guys going to Gangsters, I'll see you on Saturday. What are you doing? And we'll be back. They sell those for women too. And on that note, I'm out of here.